Greetings once again, all you pirates out on the high seas. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with more One Piece. Previously, as CP0 raided Egghead Island, the island of the future, Dr. Vegapunk's laboratory, they and the Seraphim under their command clashed with Zoro, even trying to take down Vegapunk's satellite bodies before they could issue cease commands to them. Before anything could escalate further, Stussy revealed herself to be a traitor, managing to take down Lucci and Kaku on the sly. As it turns out, she is actually a clone created by Vegapunk, who had gone out in the world and ended up a member of CP0. However, things weren't as peaceful as they seemed even after the Seraphim had gone into standby mode. Now, as it turns out, Bonnie and Vegapunk have disappeared. Where have they gone? No one knows. Meanwhile, the being which Stussy is modeled after, Miss Buckingham Stussy, the mother of Weevil, is behooving Marco to rescue Edward Weevil. As it turns out, while Marco was away, Sphinx Island came under attack, not from pirates, but the Marines, looking to obtain Whitebeard's treasure for themselves, not understanding that the island itself is Whitebeard's treasure. So as they threatened the populace, Weevil came in and defended the island. And while he did manage to push back the initial battalion of Marines, that changed when Admiral Ryukyugu showed up, capturing him and sailing away. And now Stussy is desperate to get her son back. Meanwhile, while we already knew that Kizaru was on his way to Egghead Island, speaking of admirals, he's not alone, as the highest authority that could override the commands of the Seraphim is one of the 5 Elder Stars, one of which is on his way. One of the 5 Elders moving? We're truly in the endgame. What'll happen next? Join me as I find out, won't you? Alright, One Piece, Chapter 1074, Mark III. I wonder Mark III what? And I love this image of Caesar, Queen, and Judge fighting. And you can see them slowly making their way to their present-day selves. Like, you could take each image of them when they were younger, and it slowly be them evolving over time. And funny enough, initially, Caesar was made to be younger than them, but it was amended that they're all about the same age. Germa 66's An Emotionless Excursion, Volume 30. 3 bitter rivals in the perpetual war to be number 2. Not number 1, number 2. It's basically the Zoro and Sanji dynamic. Geez, no wonder they get so bent out of shape. Is mostly Queen. He's the most bitter about it. But then again, Caesar didn't really know about Sanji's Germa lineage too much beforehand. And Judge never said much about Caesar or Queen. Oh, speaking of Mark III, geez. Oh, that's the Mark III. Usually it takes us a while before you find out about this, but we pick up in the Fabriophage on Egghead as we see the government agents battling against something, shouting, "Aren't you supposed to be Navy? Government weapons shouldn't be interfering with our work. You're taking out your own." And as a guy, one of the government officers picks up a bazooka and tries to fire it, we see none other than a pacifista using a bubble to block the shot, and also using that same bubble to attack the government officers, who scream, "What powers are those?" One screams, "It's a bubble shield. Vegapunk's invention. The ultimate projection bubble shield." That's the far superior redesign of the prototypes deployed at the Paramount War, the Pacifista Mark III. And we get narration, Naval Science Team Battle Weapon Pacifista. And the Pacifista says, "Cease resistance and proceed to Factory Building B." The government people say, "Lay down your arms, men, or we're all dead. We're too fodder to deal with this." And the government people say, "Who's giving it orders? Pacifista can't act on their own." And the Pacifista says, "I'm taking you in." We then pick up on the Fabriophage, where it looks like some of the scientists are nursing Sentomaru back to health, as they tell him, "No, don't move. It'll make your injuries worse." Sentomaru says, "Hell of a vacation day. How's the Pacifista doing?" One of the scientists says, "Sounds like something's going on up there." Sentomaru is trying to access a Denden Mushi, saying, "But the Frontier Dome's closed, and I can't get in contact with Punk." Okay, Sentomaru's still coming in clutch. He then remembers Luffy's words, saying, "Don't worry, We'll take him off this island. While Sentomaru still tries to use his Dendenmushi but can't, he then tells the scientists, what worries me now is that the Navy keeps looping its communications to prevent us from getting update. Guess I'm a rebel now too. Then I might as well act like one. Pacifistas Mark III deploy. All 50 of you. Whoa. 50 pacifistas all awakened from their castle. Jeez. Like a legion of Robocop. He says Straw Hat Luffy is going to take Dr. Vegapunk away on his ship. Your duty is to see them off safely. One of the pacifistas, number 33, says, understood, and they all march off, with the scientists looking on going, whoa. Sentomaru says, the Navy's acting fishy. Keep an eye on the horizon. And we see all the government agents locked up in some warehouse saying, hey, wait, let us out. And as the pacifistas march the street, Sentomaru continues telling them, it's clear that something's about to happen on this island. Make sure your creator gets off this island alive. Damn. Even beaten up, Sentomaru's still coming in clutch. A legion of pacifistas? Dang, that ain't nothing to joke about. We then cut to the labrophage on Egghead, with someone yelling at Luffy saying, what do you mean she's gone? She has to be somewhere in the lab. I guess it's Chopper saying that. You have Luffy just huffing and panting saying, no, I ran all over the dang place. Chopper says Luffy's hover boots broke, so he's running the whole time. Luffy says, don't rat me out. I don't have the allowance to pay for that. Chopper then questions Shaka, saying, where'd the old Apple Man go anyway? And Bonnie too. Shaka says, Bonnie is around. Luffy goes, huh? Shaka tells him, you can see the entire lab on the monitor here. Luffy gets mad saying, mention that. Shaka then says, she's been here the whole time. And Luffy says, mention that. I'm not used to Luffy getting mad about stuff like that. Ooh. And now the whole crew is in Egghead attire, including Stussy, as we see Zoro, Brook, and Stussy enter. Brook looks around going, this place really is quite remarkable. It's like the future! Zoro asks, aren't we supposed to be setting sail? And Stussy, showing that no matter who you are, if you're a female, you have no pants on Egghead. As she asks, I want to see the Stella. What's happened to him? Oh, we even see Atlas all healed up too. The gang's all here. Well, except for Bonnie and Vegapunk. Oh, and Rob Lucci are tied up and on the ground, as well as Kaku. Shaka tells everyone, we're suffering two anomalies at the moment. Brace yourselves for this. One is the disappearance of the Stella. The other is loss of control over the Frontier Dome. I guess it's Usopp saying, what do you mean? Meanwhile, Luffy is waving to Atlas saying, oh, her head's better now. Well, Edison says, we got replacement parts. I love the scene of everyone just looking around. We see that York has gotten slim again. York is a lot bigger than I thought she was. Like, Jesus! Like, she's at most like a little bit smaller than Atlas. Dang! I didn't know York was that big. And Zoro's just looking up at her. Meanwhile, Nami is ready to kick at Rob Lucci. Whoa, Robin's trying to tell her don't. But as Usopp says, what do you mean to Shaka? Shaka says, I mean that we are no longer able to leave the labophage. Usopp says, excuse me? Shaka says, you can assume that if we try to get out, we'll be fried by lasers. Usopp and Chopper freak out saying, what? But we're supposed to be taking Vegapunk off this island, right? Shaka says, that's true, but the man himself is currently missing. So what you can do to help is find the Stella. In the meantime, I'll figure out a way to repair the dome. Frankie says, yeah, but what's the point of looking for Vegapunk if even your all-seeing monitors don't show him? Shaka explains normally they would have a view of everything in the lab. However, after the damage the Seraphim caused earlier, the cam snails have either left their stations or lost consciousness. Therefore, I have the other satellite and workers inspecting the lab. He could have fallen unconscious outside of the cam snail's view. You have Sanji fawning over Stussy. Pythagoras then gets in contact with Shaka saying, Shaka, this is Pythagoras. There's no one on the third floor of Building C. Shaka says, I see. Next you should check the... Meanwhile, Nami goes off saying, come on, let's join the hunt. If we want to set sail, we'll need to find them. Brooke says, I'll accompany you. But Nami also says, and any treasure. Stussy also adds, I'll search as well. I'm concerned. With Sanji saying, Ooh, let me tag along, Madam Stussy. While Zoro says, guess I'll search too. We're looking for some old guy with his head chopped into, you said. But Sanji stops him dead saying, hold up, Mosshead, you searching for someone else? Who's going to go looking for you? Even Chopper chimes in saying, yeah, you gotta stay here, Zoro. And Robin also says, be a good boy, won't you? I can't blame him for that. It's just, Sanji immediately had a good point. It's just like, no, you stay here. We're looking for someone. We will never find in the process. So from the looks of things, Zoro and Luffy are the only ones still hanging behind, chilling on the couch. Zoro saying, don't even know what they're talking about. But I guess they can handle a little manhunt on their own. Geez, how long were you running around at max effort? Luffy's wheezing and panting, saying, I'm always max effort. I think that might have come from Gear 5. I mean, we've seen Luffy do a lot of running and not get nearly this tired. I think he might have ran out of a bit of stamina. I think we might be starting to see some of the downsides to Gear 5, which would be cool. Zoro then, alludes to Kaku and Lucci saying, can't believe we ran into these guys again. I haven't thought about Water 7 in ages. Luffy then chimes in, I hope the Ice Guy's doing well. We then pick up in the Paw Room, but it's an abbreviation, PAW. I wonder what that means. You also have a memory of Vegapunk, who is in child form because of Bonnie, saying, don't touch it, Bonnie. Bonnie says, shut up, get out of here, and knocks Vegapunk out of the room. Okay, so she is accessing Kuma's memories, and she's in some kind of field, and she sees a young, because we've seen a depiction of it, a young Bartholomew Kuma crying. She says, what's the matter? Hey kid. He's crying and crying. She says, Dad? But then people run up saying, come on, I found him. Kuma says, help me. I can't take it. The people say, you get back there right now. If you escape, they'll kill every last one of us. Kuma says, I don't want to go back. Don't send me back to that horrible place. The people say, don't. Crying isn't going to solve anything, you enormous bat. As they continue beating him. As Bonnie tries to run towards them, she just seems to get further away. She thinks, what is this? Why can't I get any closer? They tell Kuma, go back there. And Kuma yells out, then kill me here instead. Why bother going back? I'm just going to die anyway. Who was he running from? And it looks like they managed to knock him out as Bonnie yells, stop it. And Kuma then says, ouch, I'm sorry. Help, it hurts, I'm sorry. Oh, these are his thoughts. So she can hear the words in the memory as well as his inner thought. You see a castle and then a shadow of people. I wonder. Kind of almost looks like Tenryubito. Kuma thinks, help me. And Bonnie starts tearing up, crying, saying, just stop it. And then suddenly she's pushed out of the bubble. We then cut to Kuma in present day, still attempting to climb the red line, with the Marines down below, announcing, I repeat, Bartholomew Kuma is climbing the shoot him down! But with Bonnie, she thinks to herself, this isn't something I can bear unless I'm truly ready for it. But I can't move on unless I know the truth. Please, Dad. I wonder, is only she gonna experience this? I honestly thought Luffy was gonna run into her. We then have Pythagoras walking through, Saki to himself saying, it's ironic that they made such a mess of this place, considering the Seraphim were originally created here. He calls out, Stella, where are you? And suddenly, there's a sound behind him, and as Pythagoras turns, a sudden explosion goes off. I wonder what happened. Man, I really don't want any of the satellites to die. And we just got Atlas back. This is where she ended up. Okay then. We then pick up with Big News Morgan and his blimp, saying, Quahahaha! Look at that! An incredible scoop has just landed in my feathered lap. And he hangs up a Den Mushi, and he says, the world government is currently undertaking an assassination of the great Dr. Vegapunk. How did you get that information? They're going to kill the world's greatest mind? It's the O'Hara incident all over again, but the government's picked the wrong fight this time. Vegapunk's a beloved figure, the man whose energy development brought light to every town in the world. And with him just happens to be this guy. As he smacks at Luffy's wanted poster, he He tells his crew, "So here's our front page. Straw Hat Luffy, Emperor of the Sea, wages all-out war with Navy at Egghead, holding Vegapunk hostage. The government should be very grateful, and I'll need you to collect their gratitude in liquid cash." His people say, "Yes, sir." And an unknown figure says, "What a preposterous excuse for a story." And we see none other than the Princess of Alabaster, Nefeltari Vivi, as well as King of Evil Blackdrum Kingdom, Wapol. Wow, when we heard that Wapol was Morgan's informant, I didn't think it would go this far. Is he the one who helped to get her out of Marijoa after the assassination of her dad? And I have to wonder, because, she doesn't seem like someone who just lost their dad not long ago, but maybe it's just because she's angry about the lies Morgan is trying to spin about Luffy. You have Vivi sitting down saying Luffy would never do something like that. This is why I hate the World Economic Journal. Wapol says, "Hey, keep your voice down. What if there's wiretapping Transponder Snail and the government learns we're here? Their goons will walk us next. And don't talk back to Morgie. He's the one hiding us in the first place." Oh, they're both hiding. Oh. And some of the female members of Morgan's staff say, "Those are my clothes. I'll never wash them again." I guess talking about Vivi. So they got a change of clothes from them too. So Vivi has been hiding out with Morgan this entire time, along with Wapol. I never would have thought Wapol would come back into the story like this. Morgan tells her, "Bah! You were bawling your eyes out yesterday, little girl. Don't try to tell me how to do my job. This is the newsroom of the world, and I'm the mover and the shaker. It's not about fact or fiction. It's about what sells. News is the biggest entertainment of all, baby." I love Morgan. Okay, so I guess I have to take back what I said. Maybe Cobra is dead. Oh, jeez. That feels like such an important death to have just off-panel. Oh, no, man. But how did Wapol end up getting all wrapped up in the situation with Vivi? Oh, at least we know she's safe. And did Pythagoras get attacked? And by who? It's clear that there's an unknown entity on Egghead up to something. I wonder who it could be, though. And how much of Kuma's memories is Bonnie gonna relive? The entirety of his life? There's a lot of thoughts that maybe Bonnie is a clone, and that might be something he doesn't want her to see, but already, just from that little glimpse, Kuma's life has been hard. Wonder what else that's about. And are Kaku and Lucci really down for the count? I don't know. Just having them sitting there in the same room with Luffy and Zoro, there's no way they're not gonna get back up and go at it with the others. And where did Vegapunk end up at? I also gotta say, I love Zoro's outfit. I can't wait to see all of this in color. And I still think Luffy is tired because of Gear 5. It takes too much to tire Luffy out. And it is cool that all these pacifista are on the mark. But let's be honest, once Kizaru shows up, they're gonna get fried. This was pretty awesome stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing more. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. What was your favorite part? And what are you looking forward to finding out about next? I'm still just wondering, where did Vegapunk go? But remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on more. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.